Greetings hobbyists, this is Artisans of Vol, and in this video we're going to make two types of stylized sci-fi grenades. So this video is designed to be fairly beginner friendly. I'm not going to use any weird add-ons with the exception of machine tools, which is free, and I'm only going to be using that so I can use the pie menu to change between different modes. You can do that without machine tools just by hitting the tab button and then selecting the option at the top. I just prefer the pie menu. So let's start by just bringing in a cylinder. We're going to be actually making the pin first for the grenades because they're going to share this in common, and I'm going to click at the bottom here and I'm going to up this to, let's say, 128 vertices so it's nice and round. I'll be doing this with 3D printing in mind, so I want this to look nice and smooth. If you're doing this for some sort of CG work, obviously you're going to want less vertices than that. And let's S to scale that up a bit, and then I'm going to S and Z to scale it on the Z. So this is going to be the bit where the pin is, and in sci-fi grenades sometimes we've got the sort of bit that comes off the side. Is that called a spoon? Not really sure. Either way, we're going to do a different type of pin here where when you pull the pin out, something comes out the top, which is the safety. So let's start having a look at how we're going to do that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go into face mode, select that top face. I'm just going to press I to inset, E to extrude it down, I to inset again, and then E to extrude that up. So this is the bit that comes out and would pop out once you've taken the pin out, and we'll model the pin in a second. In fact, I'm going to G and Z just to bring that down. You can see what I'm doing in the bottom right hand corner, but sometimes it doesn't show every single key that I press, so I will talk through them as well. And then we need to make this wider again, so I'm going to press E to extrude it, escape to cancel it, except for it hasn't cancelled it, it's still there. If I press G, you can see that. So if I press S now, I can scale that out to somewhere about there, and then I'm going to just G and Z that up to make a slight angle, and then E to extrude it, and then I'm going to press Control and B to bevel it, except for our bevel here isn't at 45 degrees, it's looking a little odd, and that's because we haven't applied the scale yet. So I'm going to undo that with Control and Z, go into object mode, Control and A to apply the scale, go back into edge mode, and then I can Control and B, and that's going to be a nice 45-degree angle. Go back into object mode and let's make the pin. So Shift and A, mesh, and then bring in a cylinder again. I'm going to R to rotate that and type in 90, S and then X to scale it on the X axis to make the pin. I think I want that a bit wider, so I'm just going to press S to scale that up, something like there. And then let's S and X again to scale that down to about there, and then G and Z. So it's relatively close to the top. Now we need the sort of loop, hoop, whatever you'd call it, that's going to go in here, and we've got a couple of options of doing this. The simplest is if I just press Shift and A and then bring in a torus, mesh, and then torus. I'm not sure if that's in the normal options. Let me just go and check that. So edit preferences, and this is where we come and get our extra objects. So if I just type in extra and remove that extra mesh objects, let's have a look at that and see if that still has that as an option. So mesh, yeah, you still have a torus even without that. But it is really worth going to edit preferences and extras and bringing in those extra mesh options. It gives you lots of funky things like having a single vertex and things like that. Anyway, so we're going to bring in a torus. This is going to be our loop, and we want to make this bigger. So I'm actually going to do this over here before I start fiddling around with it, because then I can modify the thickness. So let's change the major radius to something about there. I can change the minor radius to make this a bit thicker, and then I can change the major segments, let's say put that as 64, and let's change that to 32 so it's a bit smoother. So that's going to work as my ring. That looks about right. Let's maybe make that a little bit bigger and a little bit thicker. Cool. And now we can just move this around. So I'm going to press G to there, and then I can always rotate this, but it'll rotate in the middle there. So just do that and then play around with where you want it. So that's going to be our loop. Now, if you didn't want it like this, obviously sort of traditionally a ring shape, if you wanted this to be something else, for example, like a sort of rounded square or something like that, the easiest way would be to probably do that as a plane. So I'll just show you that. I'll go to mesh, plane, and then let's just bring that to the side so we can see it. And then what I'd do is probably something like scale that up a bit, S, and then scale it in the X direction. So I pressed S, then X. And then what I want to do is go into face mode, select the face, X to delete, but I want to delete only the face, which gives me this outline. Then I can go into vertex mode, select all the vertices. And to bevel these vertices, we press Control, Shift, and B instead of just Control and B, and that will allow me to bevel those vertices, something like that. I haven't applied the scale again, so this looks awful. So Control and A and scale, and then back into vertex mode, Control, Shift, B, and we can do something like that, as round as you want it to be. And then to make this have a three-dimensional shape, what I'm going to do is right-click, convert to, and then curve, and that changes my data properties over here. So I can click on that, scroll down to where I've got geometry, and then I can go down to here where it says bevel, and I can up the depth of that to somewhere around there. And if I want this to be smoother, I can up that to say 16, and it's going to make it nice and round. So you could always do this and have a squared off pin instead. Let's just make that a little bit thicker. In fact, I might use this for one of the other grenades. So let's just G and X and put that over there somewhere. That can be used for the other type of grenade. So let's start working on the main body of my grenade. Shift and A, and I'm going to bring in another cylinder. And let's up this to 256 and then scale that up. So about the right size for the grenade. And let's S and add a little bit more in the Z axis. Control and A and apply the scale. And all we're going to do is come to edge mode. I'm going to press Alt and click on that edge, and then Shift and Alt and press on that edge, and then we're just going to Control and B and bevel it. And actually, let's make that a bit smoother than that. So let's use our mouse wheel, and we just scroll up to make that nice and smooth. So I'm going to go to somewhere in the region of 32. And let's go around there. I think that'll be about right. Cool, so that's looking good. Let's select those, G and Z that down, so we've got that in place. And then I'm just gonna, how much do I want that sticking out? Let's do somewhere about there, and then R, and then move that to about there, so it's resting on the side of the grenade. Right, and just a little bit of detail here. Let's just go into edge mode. I'm going to Control and R to put an edge there. Click to confirm it. Control and B to make it a little bit wider. Scroll down so we've only got 2 edges being created. Is that wide enough? Let's do that a little bit wider, somewhere around there. And then I'm going to go into face mode, and I'm going to press Alt and E, and that gives me our extrude options. You can also do this over there where your extrude options are, but I just find it quicker this way. And we're going to extrude along the normals, and we're going to go out to, I don't know, let's say about there. That'll be about right. And then edge mode, Alt select, and then Shift Alt select, and Control and B, and we'll make that nice and round. Let's press C so we don't have an issue with our clamping. And there we've got our details. Now, for 3D printing, this has created a slight issue. This clamping, while it looks like it's stopping everything overlapping, it does actually, if I press G, it makes multiple vertices on the same point. So I'm just going to press A, M, and then merge by distance. And you'll see we've removed all of the vertices that would have been in that loop. So now we've got a nice solid object for this center. And then we can just Boolean these together to make one solid object. I won't do that yet. We've got another grenade to make. Let's grab that, G and X, and move that to the side. For our next one, I'm going to make a more typical frag grenade. So Shift and A, and I'm going to make the sort of interesting texture that it has on the outside first. So what I want is a cylinder, but this time we need a lot less vertices. I want to go with 8, so I've only got 8 points around it, and then let's S to scale that up to about there, and then let's S and Z a little bit as well. Now, there are some problems with making this. In fact, this is actually just knowing some sort of little tips and tricks that's going to make this easier. So what I'm going to do is Control and A to apply the scale, because we've scaled it unevenly on one axis. Let's hide that end menu. And then I'm going to go into edge mode, Control and R, and I'm going to scroll up once. So we've divided this into 2 portions, click, and then escape to get rid of that. Now, this is the bit that gets tricky. What I'm going to do is go into face mode and press Shift and Z to go into X-ray mode. Then I'm going to select all of these faces, and Shift and Z to come out of X-ray mode. What we need to do is inset these slightly. So I'm going to press I, but it notices insets everything. If I then press I again, it insets the individual panels, so I can decide how much of a gap I want between each of these. I'm going to go with about there. Then we want to extrude each of these, so Alt E and then extrude faces along normals, and then I can extrude those out however far we want it to be. I'm going to go a little bit more than I think I want there because of a process we're going to do next. But we have this issue. As we're extruding along our normals, we have, well, ever-increasing gaps between each of these bits sticking out, and it just looks a bit rubbish. So what we want to do is we want to scale these faces, but we only want to scale them on the X and Y. So effectively, we want to scale them on everything except for the Z. So I'm going to press S to scale, and then Shift and Z, And this should work, except for it's not. It's going to sort of carry on extruding everything out, because when we scale things, it's trying to scale it from the center. And this is just coming up with a ridiculous result, so I'm going to undo that. We can actually tell Blender to not do this. We want to scale this off of each of the individual faces. To do that, we come up here where we've got our transform pivot points, and I can change this to individual origins. And if I do that, now when I press S and Shift and Z, you'll notice it just scales it in the directions we want. Now I'm going to undo that so I can come into top view, and then again S, Shift and Z, and I'm just going to expand that out to the point where everything looks like it's in a pretty straight line. So about there. That looks about right. And now we're going to have something that's going to look much better when it's part of our grenade. Now, this inside bit that's only got 8 edges to it isn't going to work very well. We want everything to be rounded again, so I'm going to press Shift and A, Mesh, and bring in a cylinder again, and up this. And then I can press S to scale that up to a diameter that looks about right. So let's scale that to about there. And then S and Z, and we're hiding our offending little bits that looked rubbish. Now what I'm actually going to do is bring that in a little bit more to about there, and then we're going to go into face mode. I'm going to select that face and that face, I to inset, and then Alt E, and once again extrude faces along normals just to give a bit more to it. So somewhere about there. And then we're going to make this top part, and this is a bit that I want to make a little bit more interesting, and we're going to do a couple of tricks, because here it was sort of interesting by its rounded clean shape. This one is going to look a little bit more complex and a little bit more detailed. So I'm going to select just that top face, and I'm going to press I to inset it a bit, and then I'm going to click, and then I'm going to press I to inset it some more. Now, this is a really minor time-saving tip, but it is quite a nice one. A lot of people, when they do what we're going to create next, would press I, then click, then press G and Z and move it down, so you've got something like that. You don't actually have to do that. If you just press I and you get to the point where you want it, if you hold down Control, you can then move it in and out without having to do all those separate clicks, and it automatically works along the normals, so that's quite nice. And then I again, let's E to extrude that out, and then let's Control and B to put a small bevel on that. So there we go. And that's where we're going to have our pin. So come to side view, I'm going to select all my parts of my pin, Shift and D, and then press X to have it on the X axis, move that across, and then G and Z that up. Now, if you're not quite happy with the alignment of this, you can do a couple of tricks with it. The best one also uses machine tools, but you need to make sure this is on. So go to Edit, Preferences, let's come in here and find our machine tools. And if you click the box to open it, you've got all of these options, and you want to make sure that you've got the align. So once you've got that, what you can do is select all of these objects. I'm just going to move those over here just to demonstrate how this works. Shift select the object you want it to be aligned to, Alt and A, and now it looks like it's disappeared, but actually it's perfectly come to the middle. Now what this has actually done is aligned everything, so you'll notice that the pin is now rotated in a weird way. That's because it's aligned the location and rotation. We don't want the rotation aligned, so I'll unclick that. We don't want it to align on the Z axis, so I'll unclick that. We only want it to align on the X axis. And then once we've got that done, I can just select those G and Z, and I now know they're perfectly in the middle of this object. Then I'm just going to grab my squared off pin, because I want to use something different. G to move that over here. Let's rotate that around and put that in place. So there is our second grenade. So that quick and easy. In fact, let's select those two, and then S and Z that a little bit. Let's select those two. Actually, let's select this one. I'm just going to S and Z that a little bit. I think this needs to be a little bit longer. G and Z that down to about there, and then select that, go into vertex mode. Let's select those, G and Z that down. The reason I'm not scaling this one is that if I did, it would affect anything like our bevels and our angles there. So I don't want to scale that one as well. So there we go. There are our two grenades. Maybe this one needs scaling up too now. So, two stylized grenades, and all we need to do is now just boolean these together so that they're 3D printable. I will add, if I was going to 3D print this, I will actually come in here, go into face mode, and I'd probably, because we've scaled this, apply the scale, go into face mode, and I'd probably put a slight bevel on those again, just to add a little bit more visual interest, something like that. So there we go. There's our 2 stylized grenades, how we've made our pins, and the little details that are going to go with this. If you've enjoyed that, please do hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button as well, and that bell so you know when I've released more videos. And if you'd like to help any further, then you can always hop over to the Patreon page where you'll find these files if you're interested in just grabbing them really quickly so you don't have to bother making them. And that is where these fantastic people are supporting the channel, and it's what helps keep the channel free. So thanks to you guys for showing your love of the channel, it's really, really appreciated. Have a great day, guys.